Stop hustling your way to the grave. Why Black women entrepreneurs win by pausing, not pushing. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom we deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I am your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the incredible honor of sitting down with Iisha Ball, a visionary leader who is making the world a better place by empowering Black women entrepreneurs to turn their quiet storms into loud victories. Isha's work centers on helping women protect their peace, embrace healing as a business superpower, and scale their dreams without sacrificing their souls. What she shared with me challenged everything I thought I knew about resilience, strength, and what it truly means to build something lasting. And I cannot wait to share these insights with you because they will shake you to your core. So let me ask you something. When you think about strength, what comes to mind for most of us, especially those of us who have been carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders? Strength looks like endurance. It looks like showing up no matter what. It looks like pushing through pain, heartbreak, loss, and exhaustion with a smile on our faces because that's what we've been taught to do. We've been told that real strength means never stopping, never slowing down, never letting anyone see us sweat. We've been conditioned to believe that if we just work harder, grind longer, sacrifice more, we'll finally break through, we'll finally arrive, we'll finally be enough. But here's the thing Iisha Ball taught me, and it's a truth that will shake you to your core. Real strength for Black women entrepreneurs isn't just enduring systemic barriers like financing gaps and underrepresentation quietly. Real strength is strategically pausing to protect your peace amid quiet storms of loss, heartbreak, and rebuilding, which actually fuels louder entrepreneurial victories. Let that sink in for a moment. We've been sold a lie. We've been told that resilience means nonstop hustle, that if we just work harder, grind longer, sacrifice more, we'll finally break through. But what Isha revealed is that healing and self choice, choosing yourself and protecting your peace, pausing to rebuild. These are the things that amplify business growth. This is what separates the women who burn out from the women who build empires. This is what transforms survival into legacy. And the research backs this up. According to the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy, Black women represent 29.6% of Black entrepreneurs in Canada. Yet they face amplified barriers like financing and underrepresentation, with over 97% running micro firms. Despite these obstacles, the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy delivered 5,305 growth services to help these women scale. The State of Black Economics Report 2026 highlights that Black self employment is rising to 3.5, 3%, comma, and Black immigrant women entrepreneurs are exporting at 57.1%, comma, far above averages, despite economic pressures. Black founders are projected to reach 3.2% of Canadian business owners by 2034, supported by $189 million in federal loans via the Black Entrepreneurship Program. These numbers tell a story. They tell the story of women who refuse to let barriers define them, women who chose to pause, to heal, to rebuild, and then to rise stronger than ever before. Women who understood that the path to victory doesn't always look like a straight line upward. Sometimes it looks like a circle, a spiral, a sacred pause before the leap. Let me share with you three key insights from my conversation with Iisha Ball that will transform the way you think about entrepreneurship, resilience, and your own journey. First, embrace healing as a business superpower. Aisha explained that Black women entrepreneurs who process personal traumas like loss or difficult relationships build deeper self awareness, leading to smarter decisions in high barrier sectors like tech and retail. Think about that. The very act of healing, of sitting with your pain, of working through your trauma makes you a better business leader. It sharpens your intuition, it clarifies your vision, it strengthens your decision making, it transforms your relationship with risk, with failure, with success itself. Let me tell you about a group of Indigenous women in Northern Ontario who proved this truth in the most powerful way. These women faced remote and rural isolation, lack of business skills, and financing barriers, compounded by systemic underrepresentation. Women own just 2 to 3.6% of agriculture and manufacturing firms in Canada. These women had every reason to give up, every reason to believe the world wasn't built for them, but they didn't. They were supported by the Paro Center's Entrepreneurship Initiative for Women, and through training in business development, microloan frameworks, and role model campaigns, they built the skills they needed to launch retail food businesses selling cultural products like bannock and wild rice tea in local malls. But here's the part that will move you. These women navigated personal and cultural losses. They rebuilt resilience through community support. They healed while they built, and their successful ventures attracted government visits and enabled international sales. They opened operational retail spots and expanded to global markets, boosting economic mobility in Indigenous communities and inspiring 8,818 rural women. They didn't just survive, they didn't just endure. They transformed their pain into purpose, their trauma into triumph, their quiet storms into loud victories. This is what healing looks like in action. It's not just about feeling better, it's about building better. It's about turning your wounds into wisdom, your scars into strategy. Second, community ecosystems turn resilience into scale. Iisha emphasized that programs like the Black Entrepreneurship Program provide loans and mentorship that help Black founders overcome financing rejections, with 57.1% of Black immigrant women exporting successfully. This is critical. You cannot do this alone. You were never meant to do this alone. And the women who are winning right now, the women who are scaling, the women who are exporting, the women who are building generational wealth, they understand this truth deeply. Let me tell you about Black immigrant women entrepreneurs in Canada who are exporting goods and services to countries of origin at 57.1% rates through tech and retail ventures in Toronto and Montreal. These women face higher loan rejections, capital shortages, and economic pressures sharper than most. Self employment for Black women sits at 3.53%, comma, below population share. These are first generation founders who endured loss and heartbreak. They grew up fast. They raised families. They carried more than they should have had to carry. But through the Black Innovation Fund, accelerators, and the Federal Black Entrepreneurship Program, which provided $189 million dollars in loans and training, they built credit readiness and networks. They rebuilt through community ecosystems like the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce post trauma. Tens of thousands have been supported, and millions in loans have been dispersed for exporting growth, enhancing Canada's trade diversification, creating jobs, and building wealth in Black communities. This is the power of community. This is what happens when we stop trying to be superwoman and start leaning into the support systems designed to help us thrive. This is what happens when we realize that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. That collaboration isn't compromise, it's catalyst. Third, protecting peace drives projection. Iisha shared that choosing to pause and rebuild personally correlates with professional wins, such as growing from micro firms to international sellers. proving quiet reflection yields loud victories for Black women leaders. Let me tell you about Black women founders in Canadian SMEs. 58% female in the University of Toronto's Black Founders Network, who are scaling tech and retail through collaborations in hotspots like Toronto. They face systemic discrimination, financing bias, and underrepresentation, with 29.6% of Black entrepreneurs being women, mostly running micro firms. But through partnerships with RBC, CIBC, and BDC for tailored lending, plus Black Opportunity Fund mentorship to refine models post personal rebuilds. They transitioned to e commerce and delivery, hiring locally and mentoring amid setbacks, turning endurance into expansion. They navigated heartbreak and loss. They grew up fast while raising families, then channeled resilience into first generation businesses. They are projected to reach 3.2% of owners by 2034, driving innovation, job creation, and multiplier effects for Black economic mobility. These women chose themselves. They chose peace. They chose to pause. And in that pause, they found the clarity, the strength, and the vision to build something extraordinary. They proved that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's strategic. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not giving up, it's gearing up for the next level. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but LeAnne, I don't have time to pause. I have bills to pay, I have children to raise, I have a business to run, I have people depending on me. I hear you, sis. I really do. I've been there, I've lived that, I've carried that weight. But here's the truth, you don't have time not to pause. Because if you keep running on empty, if you keep pushing through without healing, without protecting your peace, you will burn out. And when you burn out, everything you've built comes crashing down. The business you sacrificed for, the family you showed up for, the dreams you deferred, all of it. Iisha Ball reminded me that protecting your peace is not selfish. It's strategic, it's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not giving up, it's gearing up for the next level. It's the difference between surviving and thriving, between in existing and expanding, between enduring and excelling. So let me ask you, how are you learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival? What does your soft girl era look and feel like right now? What past wound are you still tending to? And what's helping? How are you actively creating space for joy, rest, and boundaries? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary questions because your breakthrough is on the other side of your willingness to pause, to heal, to choose yourself. Iisha Ball's work is proof that when Black women entrepreneurs embrace healing, lean into community, and protect their peace, they don't just survive, they thrive, they scale, they export, they build generational wealth, they change the world, they rewrite the narrative, they redefine what's possible. And you can too. But it starts with a choice to stop hustling your way to the grave, a choice to stop equating your worth with your productivity, a choice to stop sacrificing your peace for everyone else's comfort, a choice to pause, to breathe, to heal, to rebuild, a choice to protect your peace as fiercely as you protect your dreams. Because here's what I've learned. Here's what Iisha Ball taught me. Here's what these women in Northern Ontario and Toronto, in Montreal, and communities across this country have proven. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your healing is not a distraction, it's a superpower. Your softness is not weakness, it's a radical act of self love. And your pause is not a step back, it's a setup for your greatest leap forward. So here's my challenge for you, not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. What if the next big breakthrough in your entrepreneurial journey starts not with more hustle, but with pausing to protect your peace? How will you choose yourself today amid your quiet storms? Maybe it's saying no to that project that drains you. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor or a community program that can support you. Maybe it's taking a day off to rest, to reflect, to heal. Maybe it's admitting that you're tired, that you're hurting, that you need help. Whatever it is, I want you to do it. I want you to choose yourself. I want you to protect your peace. I want you to embrace your softness. I want you to turn your quiet storms into loud victories because the world needs what you're building, but it needs you whole, healed, and at peace even more. The world needs your vision, but it needs your voice. The world needs your hustle, but it needs your heart. And you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead from a broken foundation. So take the pause, embrace the healing, protect the peace, choose yourself. Not because you're selfish, but because you're sacred. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Not because you're giving up, but because you're gearing up for the most powerful chapter of your life. Iisha Ball is out here changing lives, empowering Black women entrepreneurs to turn their quiet storms into loud victories. And I am so grateful for the wisdom she shared with me and now with you. So let's take a deep breath together. Let's release the cape. Let's redefine strength. Let's embrace softness. Let's heal in real time. Let's protect our peace as a practice. And let's turn our purpose beyond pain into something sacred, something supportive, something that changes the world. The question is not whether you're strong enough to keep going. The question is whether you're brave enough to pause, whether you're courageous enough to heal, whether you're bold enough to choose yourself, whether you're willing to protect your peace so fiercely that your victories become inevitable. So stop hustling your way to the grave. Start pausing your way to power. Start healing your way to wholeness. Start choosing yourself your way to victory because your quiet storms are not meant to break you, they're meant to build you. And your loudest victories are waiting on the other side of your willingness to pause, to heal, to protect your peace, and to choose yourself. Thank you.